All right, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining the show with me is our awesome co-host, Noble.
Don't forget your fire extinguishers.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna look around the place now and see if I've got one in me. Ooh, there we go. I'll be fine. Whew.
I got,
Crisis
I
averted.
got one. I got one too, so I'm fine
Right.
too.
Mm. All right, so now joining us for the show today, we have Azzy.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of you.
Hope you've been doing all right as well.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's good. And rounding out the panel today, we have Malagos.
Yeah, hello.
It's good to have you back again.
Happy New Year! If since this is the first time I'm in 2025, right? I'm here, so Happy New Year once again.
It's never too late to say that until January has passed.
I would say, well, actually, till December 31st, but okay. Technically, still a year until, but yeah.
Yeah, well, at that point you'll just be like, yeah. No, until the last part
Oh
of the
yeah,
world
we
has
have
finally.
Chinese New Year as well in February.
Oh yeah. Well, but that's a bit different because the Chinese New Year celebrates the turning of the Chinese zodiac.
Isn't it the snake this time?
So it would seem because 2024 is the year of the dragon.
Right.
But yes, you are right. It will be the year of the snake, or as the internet calls it, it'll be the year of the snake. No, no, but for real though.
Snick.
Nah, but for real though. Now let us have a look at what we've got to tide you over for the week. And to start with, we will have a look at what furries have been up to this week. In convention news, we have the California convention. Further confusion, and they are bringing back something that should have stayed well beyond its parts, like that has been well past its use by date.
Oh,
Let's see what
Jesus.
they've had to say. For the safety and comfort of all attendees, masks will be mandatory in both the Dealer's Den and Art Show at #FurCon 2025. Please ensure you have a mask ready before entering these areas. Thank you for helping us create a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone.
It's like they're stuck in 2021.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I only have to ask the simple question: are they required to by the state or the city they're in?
Let us share with you the
No,
California, the state of California.
no,
Let's have a
no,
look.
no.
But we do have the con's health and safety policy. Okay. Key points of the health and safety policy: vaccinations not required but strongly encouraged.
Well, they can't force vaccinations anymore.
Well, they can't force vaccinations anymore at that point. It's just
It's ridiculous.
If six stay home, obviously.
masks.
Mandatory dealers that okay, this is interesting. So apparently, according to them, the virus only exists in dealers then an art show. But outside of it, it's just disappears.
Right.
The virus is only risky in those areas, but when you go outside of them, it's gone. Like you could
Right. And you know what the funny thing is, in a FurCon, there are just as there are events which have just as big crowds and people, such as the fursuit parade and the dance competition, and so forth.
yeah,
And
but But no. With the dealers then an art show, that's where we get the mask. But anyway,
Right,
how are they going to enforce this? What if somebody is in a fursuit? They're just going to start basically coming to them and say, excuse me, sir, we need to pull your mask away to check if you have another mask. Like, also that's like a complete hell for fursuiters
It,
to wear
Uh-huh.
to
it,
to wear a respiratory mask.
well, it's California. What do you expect?
Yeah. Okay, and then here's what they have to say, of course. Masking requirements. Masks are mandatory in high traffic areas such as dealers and art show. But like you said, they didn't say anything about the parade, the dance competition, all of that stuff, other event panels, you know. And you know what the funny part is? When it's on the social media thing, you have to wear a mask. And their social media post on X said that you had to wear a mask underneath your fursuit.
Which is hell.
I mean, you are already struggling to breathe as it is already.
Yeah.
And yes, it even says so on the health and safety guidelines. A mask required under fursuit heads. Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Just the COVID-19 statistic.
Hmm?
Yeah, I expect that. So basically, they're going to go around the fursuit and say, "Excuse me, you need to pull off your mask so we can see if you're masked." Like, it's gonna be a complete disaster. Like, probably I would even bet that it's maybe going to be enforced on day one, but then they'll realize that people get pissed if you basically tell them to take off their fursuit and stuff, and at
I
day two
mean,
they'll completely give up.
yeah, this is day one right now. It's Friday. The con started, and it's not Saturday yet or Sunday. And you're not wrong. The students will get pissed off. Why they gotta do this? You know, and all that. And I just do so love that they had to say, fursuit heads themselves do not constitute a mask, nor does a fursuit head, quote unquote, wearing a mask, as if to say, no, sorry, you can't cheat the loopholes out.
This is not going to. This is only going to probably get enforced on day one, and it's probably going to be like for an hour or two, and then they'll give up because people are going to get pissed. Like even the leftoids basically are long gone from COVID. Like they're focusing now on other stuff than COVID. COVID's long gone.
Yeah,
In
COVID's long
terms
gone.
of like
COVID's basically
fear
irrelevant
mongering.
now. Let's be real. Like it's been
Right?
irrelevant since a couple years back.
Yeah, even though they try to bring it back, and it's like, bro, we already know everything about it. It's bullshit. So move on.
Hmm.
It's not
Yeah,
even anymore that you just basically before it was like you have to stay home 2 weeks or something when you get COVID. Well, when I got COVID, it was like a week.
now it's like,
Right.
who
Now it's
cares?
like now it's like it's basically they treat like a cold. You basically have a fever, and after fever you have to wait 24 hours. 24 hours, and after that you go to work normal.
Yeah, I had it before too, and it went away for like 4 days. So it's
I
like
had it for like 2 days.
it was basically a flu. That's what it really was.
Yeah, for me it was also I was coughing for like the next 2
It's
weeks or something.
bloody SARS, for Christ's sake. Maybe you should go research what that is.
Oh, speaking of, on the same thing, we have a meme that perfectly encapsulates the ridiculousness of the situation. Out here, this is stupid. We have a piece of art that depicts, dealer's den. The door says masks required inside dealer's den. The dealer wearing a mask, and then now the attendees have just stepped out of the dealer's den, saying, looks like we're safe. The COVID can't get us out here while taking their masks off.
This is so stupid. They're basically trying to be like this like last year when was it like northeastern Anthrocon or whatever was it called? It
And
was
for
like in
and for New England, yeah.
yeah, Anthrocon New England in 2024, January 2024, or no, it was 2023, I think, something like that. Was one of those? They just said, "Oh, like we know that COVID's like long gone, and like nobody's like checking Vax Pass anymore, but we're gonna be the only con that checks Vax Passes." And like,
Look, at this point, it should basically be optional. Don't turn around and harass people who feel as if they need to wear a mask. And if you see him wearing a chin diaper, which is when some useless retard decides that, oh, I'm going to have the mask on, but I'm going to have it below my nose. It's like, well, first off, those like light shitty blue masks aren't going to protect you from inhaling shit, which is what the masks is the reason why people are wearing the fucking masks in the first place. I mean, those shitty blue ones you see people wearing, they're perfect for when someone spits in your face. But if you're afraid of inhaling something, you really need to wear a mask that like fits across your face. So if they're going to enforce people to wear those ridiculous, they're a waste of fucking time and it's a waste of money. Mm-hmm. If you're going to wear a mask to stop yourself from inhaling the miasma, what you need to do is wear something that's actually going to fit around your face properly. It's fucking ridiculous half the time, this shit. I mean, seriously.
I don't agree with the whole fucking mask thing at all.
It's just virtue signaling because there's this tiny minority of people who still wear masks, who still think COVID is not over, who have like some kind of Stockholm syndrome and still want like lockdowns to happen because they really enjoyed staying at home for the entire month, basically doing TikTok videos.
Look, from my point, the whole con thing still requiring this level of shit is just a joke. It really is.
Yeah, and and the funny thing is, I'm not sure if Anthony New England is doing the same thing right now as we speak, which is they're also happening at the same time, but
I don't think they are. I think they've also. I think after they saw the low attendance of, the entire Vax Pass shit, they stopped doing it because, all in all, people stopped taking the boosters. People Vax Passes aren't even like CDC regulated anymore, so it's no longer. There's
at
no
this
way
point,
that they can.
It'd be a non-issue. Either way, though, I will say this though: you are gonna have to feel for the dealers inside there because everybody has to, wear a mask to buy, dealers and stuff. And while they're just sitting there trying to make them $1.
I'm gonna say the same thing that like I said like back when the whole Vax Pass came in. If you're so afraid of going to a con of COVID, then don't go to a con. Just don't go. Let people who want to go. But if you are so afraid of COVID that you don't want to go, don't go. It's
right. And these are the same types of people who would go to a con to fuck at parties, and then they get caught with something, and then they.
Oh yeah.
You mean they get the AIDS?
Oh yeah, they never really like.
The parade? You mean the parade?
They talk about problematic people and all this stuff, but they never talk about like those kinds of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ironic, isn't
it? Either way, though, I just really, really wonder what the state of FurCons is going to be like if this is how the year is going to start. But it's not like we're missing out on much. If
Look, the only thing I have
through a dealers then with wearing a mask.
Sorry, the only thing I really have to ask the question of is, is someone on the actual team behind the FurCon? Is it multiple people behind on the board or whatever that are making the decision that this is still mandatory, or what?
I think it is. It's the board. Yeah, it's the board that makes the code of conduct and all of that. I mean, either way.
Well, let's just hope this
Considering
bites them in the ass.
Well, all things considered, it wouldn't take long for that to be the case, considering that. Let's move on to what's just happening a couple hours down south of where they are, because it further confuses in San Jose, California. A couple hours down south is the smoldering city of Los Angeles.
Yay, volcano from 1997's become reality, except without the lava.
Only now they just call it big wildfires, and a lot of things really.
Look, no one really deserves what's happened in the whole situation, but a lot of the news stories I've been coming across, A, they still haven't identified the person, which last week I thought they did. B, there are statings that it's potentially from a 100-year-old power grid or a party during Christmas. So I hope you had a nice celebration, you useless fucking twats, if that's the case.
I would say if you know how to if you know what's up, you will know that those are just convenient motives to cover up for what is really going on behind the scenes in Los Angeles, which is mismanagement, incompetence, bad decisions, and a whole big lack of doing things like controlled burns or whatever have you.
Well, that's the other thing that was covered. So apparently the indigenous population of California were given of the actual state was sort of like they had a situation set up where they were doing backburning, they were doing controlled burns, and they were doing fuel reduction burns. It's all the same thing, basically. But because of weather conditions over the last year or two, there was an explosion in growth. Then there was a dry season, drought sort of hit, things dried up, and like, ooh, we don't want to accidentally start a fire, let it burn for a little bit and then put it out, and then it spreads somewhere else. And it's like, yeah, this is what happens when you don't. This is also what happens when you leave your streets full of dirty shit all over the fucking place. I mean, have you seen the piles of rubbish that's literally just littered LA and all that surrounding areas? That's fucking ridiculous. Of course it's going to burn like this.
And you're having too many electric cars. Of course, everything's gonna like blow up. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure 100-year-old power. I'm sure like 120 years ago, they weren't thinking about, people are going to be driving around in EVs in the next 100 years. So maybe we should build the grid for that.
No, remember how I said to you that, the grid will basically suck out the battery of an EV in order to save itself?
Wait, that's been happening?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, shit, I still owe you a link to that research article, but that is indeed a thing that happens.
Well, technically, some EVs are designed to be bidirectional.
And even then, the most practical thing that you will think about in a crisis like this is, can you get out of said fire zone using your EV and make it out alive?
Well, the thing is, Tesla would have to enable long-distance travel in the vehicles that are restricted by it. Thank you, subscriptions.
Exactly. Tesla is like the most, anti-modding thing out there. Remember, like we've covered extensively how Tesla will basically, if it registers an incompatible or whatever modification on your car.
Or they decide that you've traveled far enough for today, so yeah, you're kind of fucked. Oh, wait, you've hit your 200 miles. Wait, no, was it like 60 miles? Okay, you're going to have to stop here. Meanwhile, the whole place is burning down. It's like, fuck.
It's like when that Tesla Cybertruck bomber, when that Cybertruck exploded, the cops basically asked Elon Musk to open up the Cybertruck, and he did, which basically puts you into question that, like, wait, so if I have a Tesla, that means Elon Musk can just, push a button and like open my car without my consent.
Malagos,
What?
just so you understand, Teslas are also monitoring what's going on around them, and it's all getting sent back to their servers.
Yeah.
So if you walk out of a, let's just say an 18 plus shop, and a Tesla is going by, your mugshot's going to be sent right to them.
Yeah. That's why I'm never buying a Tesla.
Well, no, you don't have to buy a Tesla. Well, the other thing is, do you really want to have your sex life being reported back to a company? No, seriously, that's what EVs are doing. Modern vehicles are keeping track of their owners' sex lives and then, well, putting it in a big database. I love the auto industry today.
That is pretty much the problem we have with modern cars and rampant use of technology and data analytics. It's not so much that they're doing this to make the driving experience better and to make better vehicles. They're doing, yeah.
How many times have you pulled your pants down?
Do you Thingo, do you hold the gear stick in such a way that as if to do you find a pleasing sensation when you do that?
Wow.
All I have to do is say thank you, Hollywood. You've just shown yourself to be hell on earth.
Literally. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
And it also kind of reminds me of that film. Have you guys seen This Is the End with James Franco and Seth Rogen?
Oh, that was a good movie. I mean, great for a piss take, but if you want to take something seriously, it's not a good one.
Yeah, I mean they actually had Los Angeles on fire too, which is like shit.
Oh, I wonder if that scene's going to get cut now.
It's almost as if it's a scene that has either aged extremely well, or it's as if it was setting itself up for a thing that's to say, Los Angeles will catch on fire soon. God, I swear, like every time the movies are on, it's almost as if whatever they're trying to say will happen some point in the future.
Well, I think it's been like the last 30 years.
Right.
LA has actually been centered for a lot of doomsday movies.
Right.
There was
Yeah.
There's Battle for LA, which is basically aliens crash into the ocean. They come,
right.
You hit the beach, and then they just start killing everyone.
They have that, or they have this uncanny thing about using the movies as a test bed for predictive programming, as if to say, we're gonna make this movie. This is what's gonna happen in the future.
Like with The Simpsons.
Yeah. Except, that's right. There is just nothing but a hotbed of friggin' witchcraft and what in that sort of industry, Simpsons friggin' movies, and that's part of the reason why I'm kind of glad that Los Angeles, Hollywood is burning.
Yeah, especially when there's pedophilia literally in Hollywood too, and it's like, yeah, they're getting the taste of their own medicine at this point.
Now, there's still a lot more to say about the Los Angeles fires. It just seems like it's the gift that keeps on giving. But
well,
have
technically,
you guys...
it's not over yet.
No. That's well. To keep going with this though, did you guys see the training video of the Los Angeles Fire Department?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh god!
This is the fire chief chick, isn't it?
Right, and the first thing they did say was like, that make sure that every fireman, firewoman, or fire they, yeah, and it was at that point I just like, oh my god, this is too much. I can't even.
My sides.
The part I love the best is when they want to hire like a diverse group of people. But when people try to sign up and become a firefighter, they get rejected due to their race. It's like, you probably shouldn't be focusing on that. I mean, I
No,
get the
no,
whole
no.
sort of like diversity bullshit, but you might
That's
want to hire people that are, physically capable.
no. Dude, that's just basically like veiled racism. Let's be real. But anyway, the point is that the hiring practices and all that are pretty much a big contributor to why Los Angeles is still burning to this very day, because it seems like nobody knows what. But you know what? Why are we so worried? Los Angeles is in perfectly capable hands if the Lesbo fire chief has it all covered, and is
She's
so
big enough
funny.
for it.
Yeah. Why are we?
Sorry, it's still just lot. I still find it absolutely hilarious how she's like all, oh, if a man gets stuck in a burning building, it's his fault.
Right. There's a meme for this too. There's a meme for
Sexist,
this
what?
too. Look at this. There is a meme for this. Don't worry, I'm an
Oh, yeah.
emergency responder who looks like you. Help! My husband's still in there. My leg's broken. I can't get up. Looks like he got himself in the wrong place.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what she actually said. Wait, was it that
That's
exact wording or?
I wonder, are they checking people like they did back when Hurricane was they're like they're checking people if they have like MAGA like if they have
Well, I would not be
MAGA stickers
surprised.
on the front door, then like skip the house.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. And all that. But we've got another meme that keeps on giving. Boombox says, let's hire a firefighter in a wheelchair.
Very
I
very inclusive.
have
Oh yeah.
this to share with you.
Yeah, let's be inclusive.
Very inclusive.
Oh no!
Oh fuck.
Wow, that is AI.
Yeah. Or let's hire a massively obese
Look, okay. If you want to,
girl as a firefighter.
if you want to have like a Starlight Foundation thing where some kid's stuck in a wheelchair as a firefighter for a day, not serious firefighter, but just as like a proxy or something, honorary. Yeah, fine, by all means, that's good. This is fucking ridiculous. Now, if someone's a firefighter, they've gotten injured, and they still have them on the force, but they have them going around to schools and stuff to like give demos, and yeah, fine, great, but the wheels are going to bloody melt. Just shit. I'm sorry, but I mean, what kind of fire department turns around and says, "Okay, you know what? Let's try to increase the, number of people getting hurt during a fire." Oh, I hate to think of their insurance premiums at this point. Sorry.
Oh man, look at if you want to get a picture of how bad the situation has gone in Los Angeles right now, I have another thing to share with you. Here we go. California fire chief uses milk and beer to save 2 homes in last-ditch effort after finding no water in the hose.
The fuck?
Apparently, there's been word on the wire that all the reserve water, all the dams have been closed up and all that. And yeah, and they're having a heck of a time just trying to get across.
Don't these idiots realize that beer can also be making it
Flammable. Right.
flammable
Alcohol is
and a
in
lot
can
more.
be in.
Alcohol's flammable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, what's the logic of using beer to put it out when it could make it even bigger?
Milk's an idea, but not the best because of the smell.
Obviously,
Alcohol is like you're basically adding fuel to the fire.
yeah, it's like pouring gasoline into like flames if you try to put it out, but it makes it worse. Like, come on.
I honestly cannot wait to see the end of this. I really can't because heads are going to roll.
Bro, for
I just,
real.
I just enjoy watching this culture that Los Angeles has really dug themselves into. Almost so much so to say to the point that a good cleansing might just be the thing they really need to
Yeah,
get back on the straight and narrow.
I got a feeling they might hire some of the Australian fireys to go over there and be like, all right, you should be doing this. Why the fuck did you do this shit? Yeah, we unfortunately learned the hard way about why
Actually,
you should
no, you know
trust
what?
tree hugging twats when it comes to fire shit.
No, you know what? Another thing I also heard is that they're calling from help from the country they're sucking the dick out of the most. They're calling for help from Ukrainian fireys.
Oh my god.
What
For
the
real.
hell?
So yeah, so I've heard.
It's gotta be a fucking joke.
At this point, I wouldn't count on that.
I wouldn't know for sure either, but that's. Oh yeah. No, but yeah, it's just you look at them like if anybody even so much as wanted to help Los Angeles through it, they'll be like, "What the frick have you done?"
Right? I expect someone.
Sorry, it's probably a good idea to move on to a new subject at this
Yeah.
point.
No, you're
Yeah.
not
This is a
wrong
dead
there.
horse, and we've
But
been beating it for too much.
I mean, yeah, well, Los Angeles is burning though. I'm just laughing while they can still do anything while they're still burning. Anyway, the next thing we've got for the show is that we've got to burn down the hatches. We've got to shore up all the plug up the holes because apparently we're getting news of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, yay!
Right. How many times have people basically hyped something like this up? Like, how many, like, it's kind of well known fact, like before now, that a Switch 2 was on the cards. And and everybody's been like dropping snippets of information, and it took this long.
No, I'm personally not surprised at this with Nintendo. Technically, they could have kept milking it for maybe another year or two. If anyone expects buying a Nintendo console to have like the current generation hardware, you probably got your head up your ass.
Right. Like, you would think that now that if the Nintendo Switch basically when it was released basically still lagged behind the power of a PS4, and now that they can't exactly play catch up, and it would have if the hardware specs of the Switch 2 will have the same power of a PS5 Pro, then what would the value of it be? Really?
I honestly hope they don't do that sort of shit. Just keep it sort of low scale and older older hardware. Otherwise, it's not Nintendo.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
do you
I
have the
can't.
photo?
Is the price confirmed? I mean, how much is it gonna be?
I
MSRP.
wouldn't not know just as well. Actually, speaking of, I've got a little fact sheet for you.
Bro, if they sell it for $700, they're going full Sony. But someone actually said it's gonna be $400.
Yeah, 400, 400 US dollars.
Yeah, here we go. They don't want to directly compete with Microsoft and Sony. Currently, the base Switch is $300, handheld is $200, the OLED is $350. A known leaker going by Moist Cali stated that the
Moist
new Switch
Cali.
will cost $400. Oh. The price could
It-
increase if tariffs are enhanced for customer electronics this year, but $400 seems to be the reasonable for now. Well, considering inflation, that would make sense.
400 is the most generous offer for Nintendo, but Nintendo being Nintendo, it could be that they increase it to like 500 or 500.
You probably have to buy like a $60 power adapter for it.
And the $400 is probably like the base price. You don't
The
get
base
all
price
the
of Switch 2.
Yeah, you don't get all the additional.
Peripherals, you know.
Can you scroll
You probably you probably don't get the detachable joypads.
Apparently, they do have them still. So this, can you go back to that? This is
Let's
the part I'm finding interesting. Whether or
Let's
not
go
it's
to the
compatible
top
with the old
here.
Switch
Let's
games.
go to the top.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And let's have a look at the
They said
bit by
it's
bit.
backwards compatible.
Play Switch games. Yes. That's one of the hot details Nintendo confirmed about Switch 2, even before it was officially announced. It plays Switch 2 and original Switch games in digital and physical
Not
formats.
every game will be compatible.
But the exceptions will be few and far between, hopefully.
Okay, so they're obviously using some sort of compatibility layer in order to allow Switch 2 games to play. Well, that's a bitch. They must have changed the CPU then.
And that's what I really want to know is what are the Switch 2 specs? That's the thing. We don't know. Yeah, what I'm
most
interested
likely
in.
it's going to be weaker than PS5 and.
Right, this doesn't mean if it will be as powerful as PS5 or Xbox Series X.
No.
Or even not even close to PS5
But
Pro.
Nintendo never really goes for the power thing. They have their own
hello. So they're using. Oh, hang on.
Compare Witcher 3 on Switch versus Witcher 3 on PS4. I don't know. You'll see the major difference. Or even Steam Deck.
Yeah. Yeah. So right
they
now,
haven't. They haven't actually released officially the
No, the official
specs.
the data sheet just yet. No, they haven't. But
Yeah,
right now, they're saying that from the leaks, they'll have Switch 2 will have 12 gigabytes of RAM, 250 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, which is a big jump from the predecessors. 4 gigs of 64.
So does that mean we'll be able to play some of the Pokemon games without lag?
Well, hopefully so. Like more RAM and more storage will only mean more good things. They won't. But what I'm really most concerned about is if you want to reduce lag and frame drops, you need a better CPU and graphics processing capability.
I'm going to ask a question. Is the battery going to be replaceable?
No.
Well, what the fuck is the point of that?
Well, the original Switch, you can replace the battery. It's just not supported by Nintendo, and I would really like to see Nintendo having an official sort of battery replacement thing. Not something you do on the go, but so you can like take out one screw, like you could do with the DS console, and just pull the battery out and put in a new one when you needed to switch it over. The console, the Wii U console, that big ass controller thing, they do have usable replaceable batteries in them, and it's literally just it's not something you do all the time, but if you wanted to say upgrade the battery, it's just literally you take a screw out, you push down on a tab, you take the battery out, and you put the new one in. I know I did that. The other bonus would be if you're going to leave your Switch console, unpowered for like months and months, if you detach the battery, it's not going to drain at all.
Right.
Mm.
Now here's the thing that what I really do want to know, like in terms of good prospects of port, for gaming while on the go. We all know now that the Steam Deck is a thing. Will the Switch 2 be comparable to that, like in terms of like performance and specs wise, or is it just a better value proposition to just get a Steam Deck?
It's always a better proposition to get a Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the thing that really kicks me is that you could actually emulate Switch games on the Steam Deck.
that as well, yeah. And also, by the way, the Nintendo's top IP lawyer said that like emulation is not illegal. So
yeah.
So if emulation is not illegal and it's perfectly legal to play Switch games.
Yeah, except now that Nintendo is just super duper uppity about people who do emulation.
Yeah, but Nintendo's top IP lawyer said that that emulation is legal. So, but then they shut down Citra and Regings and Yuzu. So,
all right. And of course, we get to the whole, what games are going to be in and on the Switch 2. I mean, of course, the first thing they tease, if you watch the trailer, is of course a new Mario Kart.
A new Mario Kart, or is it just another remake of Mario Kart?
Is it the definitive edition of the Mario Kart or something?
The definitive edition, yeah.
Yeah, like Kart Deluxe, and just like they added more content in. Could be.
Yeah, much like there's a definitive edition of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy.
Oh my god, don't talk about those. Those are terrible.
No. What I want, and then we also have, Pokemon Legends Z-A.
Now, that's a question I'm going to have to ask. Is Pokemon Legends Z-A going to be compatible with both Switch 1 and 2?
I don't know. Like, they're saying it's a Switch 2 game because, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet really just pushed the Switch kind of to the edge, and it still has performance issues.
Yeah, it was poorly bloody written.
Right.
But no, under all seriousness, if the Switch 2 can take the Switch 1 cartridges, then maybe they could write the game so that there's like less graphics or something.
Right, like, more optimized or whatever it is. Or, or because of the more powerful hardware, it'll just play better because of it. But alas, that's an issue for program, the coding, the optimization of assets, and all of that other thing else, and coding and all that. But as we all know, why should that concern us? Because because a game made by 7 people in the studio in Japan for a fraction of the cost did way better and sold 8 million copies, and and is now good chums with Microsoft and Sony. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Are you talking about Pal World?
Yes. I think it will just be all over if Pal World somehow manages to get on Nintendo Switch 2. That would
not gonna happen, but
no, because they're good chums with Sony now.
Yeah. But if that did happen, you guys would probably go nuts over it, right?
There's still Nintendo sort of like call them Nintendo drones, who basically still believe that Power World should be shut down, should blah blah blah, should be sued to hell because the rip off of Pokemon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also
Pokemon's
another.
Pokemon's
Yeah,
technically a ripoff of Godzilla.
the rip
And
off
some
of
other, yeah,
Dragon Quest
and a couple other games, you know,
Dragon Quest
Shin
Monsters.
Megami Tensei.
Dragon Quest Monsters was the first sort of main game that basically I made the idea of catching your own monsters and using them for battles. And basically, Pokemon made it even more popular. But there's also another game, Joel, that's like identical to Pokemon called Heartbeat. You probably know that game. It was actually a controversial game because the developer, who's a lesbian, is not a huge fan of MTF so-called lesbians, which is why she made a joke about it and the whole fiasco about it. But it's also a Pokemon, sort of like a Pokemon game that has its own monsters and everything. And Nintendo didn't sue it because Nintendo doesn't own the rights for monster catching. That would be ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot of games Nintendo apparently can or does have the right to sue, but they don't.
For Power World, they only sued the entire third person throwing a ball to someone.
Right, they just reserve the Pokemon just try to reserve the patent for that in order to to monopolize the concept.
And they made
as
that
it were.
patent. They submitted that patent after Power World was released. By the way.
Right. And even then, now and they're only lowballing Pocket Pair for this, so they So it's almost as if if they don't believe in this, then what are the chances that they'll even win? Yeah. Whoa, what's it?
I mean, Power World is so big now that there's no way in hell that Nintendo can ever basically sue Power World for anything. I mean, it's not a small company anymore. They're backed by Sony. If Nintendo tries something, I don't know, this PAL looks identical to Eevee, it's gonna be a loss for Nintendo.
Well, the other thing is you're making the assumption that in law the only outcome is either victory or failure. Both sides can turn around and say, yeah, look, we're going to cancel this. We've come to an agreement. Bye-bye, judge.
Yeah, we're just going to settle instead.
Yeah, but Nintendo does want that Power World money, though.
No, it was more about trying. They're more trying to send them a message rather than
It's not Power World that they're trying to sue. It's not Power World or the company behind Power World. It's that Nintendo's gone, right, let's grab a stick and try to shove it up their ass as hard as we can. No, it's Sony and bloody Nintendo that are really doing the fighting behind here. Power World's just the public face of the whole thing. If Sony never bought Power World, Sony would have been like, Nintendo would have been like, will everyone just shut the fuck up, please?
Did they buy the Power World, or are they just investors in?
I think it's a part ownership, sort of like the way Pokemon is.
No,
because Pokemon has Creatures Incorporated, the Pokemon International, and Nintendo.
Yeah, it's owned. I think Pokemon Company is owned half by Nintendo, half by Game Freak.
Well, no, there are 3 companies behind it.
Wait, who's the third company?
Game Freak, the Pokemon
No,
company,
yeah, Game Freak, yeah, Game
and
Freak.
Nintendo.
Oh, the Pokemon company is like a different company.
Yeah. Pokemon company handles things internationally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the whole fucking rice balls being called donuts.
Okay.
Rice balls being called donuts, huh?
Right.
Yes.
So they handle things like localization and all of that stuff.
Right.
I mean, still a cool idea. But that's pretty much what it is, though. Now, to finally just wrap up this little bit, though, what do you think about the Switch 2? Like, is it something, you reckon you'll probably try and have a go for? Or has
The
Nintendo
only
kind of sullied it to the point where you just said, nah?
the only reason I have a Switch is to play Pokemon. That's it. And the last few games of Pokemon they released are a dog. So at this point, I'm not interested in wasting any more money on a company that's going to turn around and support a bunch of fucking useless twats as well. So I'm honestly at this point debating if I'm going to get the Legends A and Z. And even if I do buy it, it's probably going to be used and hopefully at about half the price of the retail copy. As for buying a Switch 2, if I do end up buying one, it may only just be a used one because, like I said, at this point, I just don't feel like buying something like this. I mean, it's fine, okay, it's going to be all fancy, but it just doesn't interest me. I do not have the drive to go out and buy one of these bloody consoles from them.
Right.
Yeah, I'd rather buy a Steam Deck.
Mm,
I honestly would rather just buy a Steam Deck and play Power World on it, or all the other games that, by the way, I don't need to pay them again because you can play them both on Steam Deck and PC. So when you buy a game on PC, you can play it on Steam Deck as well.
right. Even then, but the caveats about you not owning the game is a whole nother story of some time because you have the license for it. And that's all.
Also, do you guys remember Virtual Console, which was a thing that Nintendo had for the Wii back in like 2008, where you could play like old NES games on a Wii or a Wii U, and then Nintendo just poof, that fucking disappeared right there. Yep, that's basically what you're dealing with Nintendo. If you decide to support them, you just buy all these like they release a virtual console something, and you buy all these NES games and all that, and then they just like poof, gone.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's the way it is. It's just yeah.
But yeah, me personally, no, I would probably pass up on Switch 2. Just
I'm
I don't know.
really not interested in buying any portable console other than
More-
Steam Deck.
More than
And that's
anything else, what I would need is just a whole new PC, CPU, the works.
Right.
I would only like Steam Deck because I have a lot of games which
Yeah,
I
yeah,
play
yeah.
on a controller, and probably don't need a high like 1440p resolution monitor to play like Heartbeat, for example. So I could just basically play them on Steam Deck without like
Yeah.
playing them while lying on the bed, and not like like I have no sort of I have no basically interest in getting a Switch 2 because most of the Nintendo games other than Zelda are pretty much not that special, I would say.
But yeah, I mean, it's still.
I mean, imagine buying Switch 2 to play Marvel Rivals, for example.
Yeah.
Which
No.
some people do, by the way.
Oh yeah,
They buy they
will buy the best console to play
they
games
buy
like
PS5
Fortnite.
so they can play Fortnite. Which
Or even games like those. Yes, precisely.
which is running on an old engine, probably still running on UA4 or something, and it's pretty much it's optimized such a way that even a mid-range PC can run it. So
All right, but apart from that though, we've how you guys, how much time how are you guys looking for time? You guys willing to stretch your show out a bit?
Oh, I want to stretch it out a little bit.
All
I
right,
really
got
want to
one more
stretch it out a little
item.
bit with this.
We got one more
Oh, yeah.
item on the table for you guys, Noble. You sent me this. You're gonna take this one away.
Oh God.
Sex life-sized AI robots that talk, express emotions,
Oh,
and can be your
fuck.
girlfriend for a hefty price. It remembers who you are. Yeah, congratulations. This is basically VHS versus Betamax, except yeah.
Oh my God.
women are outraged about this.
Except now we've got we've got people who are so real deep into robotics and they're really using AI, and this is the end result. Only problem
Terminator
is,
2. Come with me
Yeah.
if you want to love.
Do you guys know that there already exists like a bunch of websites where like the NSFW like websites where you can chat with an AI and like role play in a in a naughty environment, and they're becoming extremely popular at this
I
point.
wouldn't be surprised if that was the
So,
case.
anyone watching, I'm going to say this now, but Second Life has had a bit of a dip with users because a number of people who usually role play on Second Life have decided to go to these so-called websites for, well, let's just say their limited experience.
AI chat websites that role play and give the similar experience.
Right. Not to mention, AI. You might not even have so much as have to pay because you have to pay to subscribe to Second Life to begin with. Correct?
No, Second Life is free. I mean,
Some
you
degree.
can go out and buy avatars if you want to, but you do have some,
Yeah.
well, let's just say very early designs which are free, and some people will in fact give you money so you can go out and buy your own avatars.
And all things considered too, like there are also some AIs that are free and all that. But speaking of price and value proposition, you want to know how much it costs to get yourself like a robot AI GF who remembers who you are? $175,000.
Are you
Don't forget
what?
there's going to be a monthly fee.
Don't forget all the pitfalls of having an AI thing stored on the cloud, because she might all of a sudden die, go out of service, and all that.
Does anyone remember the anime Chobits?
Is
No.
it still cheaper than having a Gen Z wife?
All right.
I bet this would probably be more intelligent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, if you can't really get a girlfriend, if you can't get a real girlfriend, hey, might as well get that one.
Yeah, shell out the money and get yourself a girl like Melody. Revealed January 7 in an electronic show in Las Vegas.
Oh my God.
Look, I mean, look at this.
What the fuck?
Look at this.
To be honest, I've actually seen on YouTube there are a bunch of like lol cows that actually like collect these sort of like figurines, and I don't mean like and I don't mean like they collect them, keep them in the box or something. They do things with them, and not just like this is behind closed doors. No, they actually go outside and hold hands and all that, and and stuff like that. There's a whole community of those, and yeah.
That's why it's a big mistake closing down mental asylums for real.
We still have them in Australia.
Well,
I'll be honest.
here
I want you to stop for a minute. But can you imagine what would happen if an open source version of these were released?
Oh my god. I don't even
Now,
want to imagine.
these bots are also not just for sex. Apparently, a couple of companies are also purchasing these for face-to-face interactions with customers. Can you imagine this being in Walmart?
Oh my
Hi
god.
there. Hi there. My name is Gracie. I will be your assistant today. How
Or-
may I help you?
Now,
Or be like,
the whole
or be like,
Hello, my name is Sally. How can I help you with today?
And they
and
do
be
this
like,
in this
"Sir."
monotone voice.
Here's the thing. These exist as it's not going to be too long before an open source version of these type of robots are actually designed and sold, designed and the plans are put online for people to download and build. It'll be expensive, but people are going to be able to do this in real life. How long do you think it will be before someone makes one with a fursuit?
oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wanted a crystal robot doll that basically, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it going to be Renamon or Crystal will come first? That's my curiosity.
I would say crystal.
Just depends who has the money first.
Or-
Look, I definitely believe there's going to be a Lucario pretty early on too.
Or either that, or they could pick like Roach the Bat from like Sonic or some shit.
Oh,
Oh no! I forgot about Sonic.
oh.
Actually,
Oh.
Rouge appeared in Sonic Adventures first.
You know, if we're talking about companions like those, I'm sure nobody would make a furry robot if they didn't put in a Renamon for good measure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with Renamon.
Oh yeah, they did that. They threw in Crystal. The guys would probably want Lucario. They want Fox from Star Fox.
That pal from Pal World.
They would want
Oh god,
Waffle
no,
Dog.
Lavender. Oh my goodness, you degenerate.
You
Oh my
gotta love
God.
this. This is the exact
Or-
conversation I wanted to have.
Or, yeah, or they would want like Wolf O'Donnell or Death Wolf or the Bad Wolf or
Okay,
Or
before
Lugosi.
anyone who actually watches this in the future and you're not keeping track of the robots out there, there is already a compact size of the Boston Dynamics quadruped robot. That is something that you can 3D print and construct. It is small, but it is possible. It is not difficult to scale that up if you have the money. If you don't have the money, well, then you're basically in, trouble. But the idea that someone could do a furry of this is not too far out of the scope of reality. We already have the technology for self-automation. There's already sex role play things that you can do online anyway. People are already integrating both of these. There's a company selling sex bots. So, yeah, how long before it becomes furry?
Right. How long before you know what? But because we have things like 3D printers and all that, all one needs to do, I suppose, is sculpt the extra missing appendages like tails and sculpt the head, and then all you need to do is just find a way to put in this synthetic fur, and I think we're in business.
Oh, Jolt. I think you completely misunderstand the fact that people have plasma cutters attached to CNC machines.
I'm just basically starting with one way of doing it. No, plasma cutters are one way, 3D printers are another. I'm sure people will have a multitude of tools to do the rest.
Actually, that's a question. How long is it going to be before someone builds robots that are designed literally to just kill people?
Oh,
And I'm not
Well,
talking about, I'm talking more Futurama sense. The whole little booth you found in the first episode. Unfortunately, self-deleting booths in Futurama, something like that.
mhm.
that would be terrifying. Not gonna lie, because that would be like
It's
Terminator 2.0.
it's post 2020. I'm pretty sure we've hit the mark for that now.
And with the rate that AI and robotics is pretty much on the up as a leading industry where people are really interested in, well, give it a couple more years. Who knows?
And the fact that the Terminator movies, like in the beginning, took place in 2029. It's like, whoa.
Getting a
Well, we're
little
in
Oh, there are
scary.
already
2001 right
look
now.
China already has military robots. They've got a lot of videos out about them, so don't be surprised. If you want to look up one, look up Wolfpack.
Oh shit.
That'll fucking scare you. Actually, it's similar to a movie that came out. No, sorry, a miniseries that came out on War of the Worlds. Anyway,
Of course, China out of all places.
Yeah. Just so we clear out the context of this robot, not that it does need should be worth mentioning. The guys behind this say that this robot was designed more for companionship and intimacy, and to make it unrecognizable for an actual human, like to make it indistinguishable from humans, not so much less so for sex. It's
yeah, but how difficult it's going to be to do that in modification?
right.
Oh god.
Anyone
Mm.
curious about where this is coming from? Look up the Trigger Me Elmo on YouTube.
Oh my god.
I love the picture of Elmo. He's got like his wires hanging out of his head.
Ah, so
I swear I'd
cringe.
love to take one of those to work.
But no, you're
So
right though. It can't, like, just to get back to the whole thing. Like, you're right. There is so much potential just for having a big robot like this. One would, it would just take a matter of time for a bot to be furrified and make the rounds at a fur con, or even like an anime con of all things.
Please don't bring
Again.
that thing to furry cons. It won't survive.
Oh, you're right.
bro, for real.
For real, for real.
Ah, I'm already brain dead just by reading that. Shit.
I don't know. Honestly, I just find that the whole prospect of robotics, it's fascinating. It is, but at the same time, it's a little spooky.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
considering Elon Musk has self-driving cars, that yeah, let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah, and he does have like literal android robots like coming out pretty soon.
Oh, he's already advertised them.
Yeah, that's
The Tesla
That's right.
robot that just bleh.
Yeah, because remember that there was that little episode where where you had those quote unquote those autonomous bartenders, but who are in fact actually having some human assistance. Yeah, I mean it's getting there, but yeah. But I'd say just give it time, and then and then next thing you know, you won't be having like plastic and that. The robots will probably covered with some sort of fur. Next thing you know, that movie, The Wild Robot, might just become reality in that way.
Yeah, pretty much. Or iRobot.
I Robot Will Smith.
Just keep the image of him eating spaghetti out of my head, please.
I did not murder him.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, well, another one here, Beowulf. Thanks for stopping by.
I love
Skynet is
that my favorite quote in iRobot was like human beings have dreams, even dogs have dreams, but not you. You're just a machine. Imitation light. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece? And the robot's like, can you? That was my favorite quote. Like,
But yeah, to get back to the whole thing though, Skynet is more of a possibility. Yeah, we did address this in just a bit. You know, robot. You know, we're getting Terminators and that. Military robots used by the Chinese. Spooky stuff.
Yeah, it's spooky, man.
All right. So
Trippy.
I would say it's at this point where that's about all the time we've got for the show.
Time
So,
to send the horse on its way.
so to speak. So who'd like to just make a quick closing statement?
Malagos.
I don't I don't know right now. Can someone else take over while I think?
Azzy.
All right, I'll take over. Anyways, I think now for the LA part, I mean, it's still going on and shit, and it's like, let's hope it fucking let's hope it doesn't like burn down regular people's houses, but yet it should burn down like Oprah Winfrey's house or something like that.
Oprah Winfrey's house.
Yeah, or Ella DeGenerate's house, or
Well, she doesn't need it anymore, right? Because she moved to the UK, remember?
oh yeah, duh. Oh yeah, duh.
Did they
And
burn the Scientology HQ?
or Tom Cruise, yeah. Yeah, and now for the masks and furry cons, it's like it's absolute cringe at this point. Like, come on, it's just absolute cringe. Like oh yeah, go wear a mask inside the venues, but yeah, if you're outside, take it off. And it's like, and these are the same these are the same furries that would like literally go to cons to have like room parties and have sex, and then
Drugs, unprotected sex, all that.
yeah, and then they all of a sudden come out with fur aids, and then all of a sudden they keep complaining about it.
Oh yeah, since it's California, that it means that they're not obligated to tell you that they have AIDS or HIV. And if you do get HIV from someone who didn't tell you they have HIV, it's going to be counted as misdemeanor. It's not a federal crime, by the way. They can't go to prison. They'll just get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, it's unreal. But yeah, now on the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, hopefully it's good. I mean, since I have a Nintendo Switch 1, hopefully it's a little better than that. But if it's gonna be like fucking worse and shit, or the games are gonna be like shit, like what Nintendo, the original Nintendo Switch is already doing now with the GTA Definitive Edition trilogy. Like that's just bad. but yeah, now with the AI robot thing, I'm just lost at work for that one because it's cringe and it's creepy at the same time. It's like
Oh my god. And how real those robots look, it's just I mean it's getting I mean, I gotta admit it's getting a little better, but it's also a little creepy at the same time. But it's like uh I don't know. Now for the people that use it for other stuff, you know what I mean? Uh they just it's weird. That's all I'm gonna say. It's fucking weird. Uh but yeah, that's my closing statement.
Malagos.
For the Switch thing, I mean, does anyone here actually like have this kind of like? I guess this is when you're start to as you grow older. I guess I kind of lost all the hype that I used to have when, for instance, when PS3 came out. Like back when I was a kid, still, I actually wanted a PS3 and all that, but now that we're like adults and we have like income and all that and we could afford technically uh switch switch 2, we're not really that excited because there's no real motivation to actually get there's no actually like wow factor, like wow I need this, like like take for example with Steam Deck, there is some excitement on it because it's actually like a portable Switch like PC that you can play your Steam games on. So you don't need to carry your laptop when you, for instance, go on vacation and all that, and you want to play video games there. No, you can just bring a Steam Deck with a case on it, and like play the games that you would normally play on a laptop, which is by the way bigger. But like with Switch 2, it's like I don't know, man. Like, is there anything like with PS5? There was actually no incentive to buy PS5, even less to buy an Xbox Series X. There was no, you know, with the Xbox, like all the stuff is being released on Game Pass. Like, why would you even waste money on that? Like, I don't know. Is it just me or is this like for everyone? It's like there really
I
is no excitement over it.
mean, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way, I guess, because like I wasn't even excited for the new PS2 that not I mean PS5 that came out.
There's no
It's like
games on it. There's nothing that you like. Wow, I need this. I want to play this. Like I'm gonna get the console because it has all these awesome games. It has none of the awesome games. Like we know that those games that are exclusive to to PlayStation will actually be released on PC in like 2 years. So it's like why even like bother?
yeah, it's like pointless to this point, right? Like
So
it's
yeah,
just
that's basically that. As for AI, I mean, it's still I think it's still a niche market overall, and I think I mean those do look human, like Azazi said. They look far better than those dolls looked like 10 years ago. But I would say we'd still are a little bit far, especially how much they cost, like $175,000. It's still way too much for like somebody for like a normal consumer. So we're still kind of far off from that world. It's still I mean, it's a start, but
it's
it's
like
gonna
hey,
take.
replace a blow up doll with a
But
AI.
furries are one of the more I'd say financially irresponsible people. So they spend thousands of dollars on fursuit. So a furry buying this for $175,000 and replacing the entire skin with the furry, I could actually see that happening.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah.
and I would not be surprised if somebody actually did that.
Yeah, I can imagine a liberal, well-life furry living in his mom's basement, literally purchasing one of $75,000 like doll just to pleasure his needs. Like it's come on.
Those same furries. They spend a lot of money on fursuits, art, cons, and everything, and then at the end of the month, they realize they can't buy rent anymore, so they go on Blue Sky, which is, I mean, they used to go on Twitter, but now it's Blue Sky. So they go on Blue Sky and they say, "Hey guys, I'm going to be homeless now. Please donate to my GoFundMe." And that's basically the financial
Well,
responsibility.
it's their fault.
Yeah, except they never take consideration of that. They always say, "Oh, capitalism, capitalism made me homeless and all that."
Yeah, but they don't even like just they don't even what's that word? They don't even take responsibility for their own actions. That's
Of
literally what they
course.
do.
So, which is why I say that I actually think a furry would spend $175,000 on that and spend even more to turn it into a furry.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Mhm.
So today, I have to admit things are a little interesting. I would hope that by next week we have the fires under control so we can sort of poke fun at that again. Okay, Nintendo, you're finally bringing out the console for whatever reason, whatever. Furcons, I'm honestly getting over that. I really am. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, though, but still. As for that whole AI thing, I basically said my piece. We're going to get furry. It's going to happen, and I can't wait. How about you, Joel?
I think you've kind of summed up most of the points, but here, though, right now, all I care about is seeing what happens as the world turns. Either way.
The beds are burning.
Mm.
Who didn't start the fire?
Ah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Now we're talking. All right. So, with all that said and done, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did making it and curating all that stuff. As always, you may find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, FM, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. All right. Well, that's all we got for the week. Till next time.
Bye.
Peace.